So we're going to talk about medium scale basses today. Let's go check it out.
My shirts are medium, my pants are medium. Maybe a medium scale bass is the way to go. I think I was vaguely aware that there was something called medium scale.
Most people are probably familiar with full scale, something like your classic
P bass,
jazz bass.
34.
Okay, and then I think a lot of people now are hip to short scales like Mustangs or Music Masters and things like that are going to be like 30, right?
Yeah, here's a classic Mustang 30-inch scale bass. This is kind of what started it, right?
And that measurement that we're talking about, that's from
nut
here
to where the bridge generally is, yeah.
So if we took a tape measure and measured
that would be 30.
This would be 30 inches.
Yeah.
So medium scale, so that's going to be right in the middle. So that's a 32, right?
32.
So it's halfway between like a P bass and a Mustang.
Yep, exactly.
And you think sonically it's closer to the full scale?
I don't think you lose anything, or it doesn't change that much for whatever reason,
subtle.
going from 34 to 32.
So the advantage is mostly with how it feels in your hands, right?
Yeah.
The length.
Well, like I said, I'm a medium guy with medium clothes. So,
yeah.
Well, let's see what a medium feels like, and it feels great.
Are most Jaguars mediums?
No.
It's specific. You have to know what you're looking for.
You gotta know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually they'll call it out in the specs. 32 medium.
Harder to find, right?
A little bit. So currently, the only ones I know of are the Classic Vibe by Squier, and then there's the Affinity, which is even cheaper and cool. It's got a little body. See how the body size is actually about the same size as a short scale.
Yeah. So, okay, here's another question. I'm noticing a lot of these have the inverted headstock.
Right.
So what's the deal with that?
Okay, so this is the Fender Jaguar PAWNSHOP bass. So as you can see, the body is reverse.
Yeah.
And the headstock is reverse. And unusual for Fender, it's got humbucker pickups. Now, again, this is kind of modified a lot. Pickups are switched out. I added these Mustang style pickup switches so you can jump between single coil options across here.
So yeah, this bass is super cool. And for context, I've been doing some recording this week, and Will was cool enough to let me borrow his basses, and I ended up playing this one pretty much the whole time. So do you think the inverted thing, is that just a vibe, like a look, or is that actually changing the way it sounds?
That's a great question, and we haven't even talked about that, but I think it does change it because the string length is longer now on the E string.
Yeah, so it looks weird because it looks like a left-handed thing.
Yep. But
it's tuned regular, so like a musician like me that plays right-handed, it's not like you're having to change anything.
Yep.
But when you look at it, it just I think it looks cool, you know? It looks different.
It looks great, yeah. So, you know, the scale is still the same, but the string length is different. So the way the string feels is a little different, which is cool. I like the way it feels.
Because of this extra
length
thing up here. And they don't make them anymore, right?
No, that was a short run.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty cool, though.
Well,
the pickups were switched out, but they're about the same sounding as the originals.
Yeah.
But it's with the same electronics where I modified it to be 500K ohm.
Yep. You know, I think the reason I liked it so much was I just gravitate towards like beefy P-bass style necks.
Yep.
And I always have. I think that just felt comfortable to me, and it just feels good.
Yeah.
And it bites too, like it was punchy.
Yep.
Like sometimes when you play with flats, I feel like I'm fighting to get the information.
Yeah.
But I feel like this bass has so much. I don't know if it's your pickups.
To me, it's the 500K ohm pot, and those particular flat wound strings are the Rotosound Steve Harris of Iron Maiden strings.
Really?
So they're nice and stiff.
Yeah.
And heavy gauge. They just feel fantastic.
Yeah, they really do feel great. Yeah, I played this one all week, and it just felt like home. And this is like, if someone bought one of these on Reverb, it'd be what, like $700-800?
Somewhere in there. I think it's a real gem. Well-made bass, Mexican made.
Yeah.
I ended up buying 3 of them because there's black, red, and tobacco. So I pretty much did treatments to all of them. So the red one, let's go take a look at the red one.
By the way,
yes.
Who are you?
Oh, hi, Will Shanks, product designer for Universal Audio for the plugins.
And also a bass player that has some super cool basses.
And I hide them in here in my Aladdin's cave of gear.
Yeah. So I'm out here at Universal Audio doing some stuff, and Will has been super cool and let me use a lot of his gear and his basses. I asked Will if he'd be willing to share a little bit with you guys. So here we are. All right, so this one.
So again, this is the PAWNSHOP bass body, but from the Classic Vibe Squier, I stole the neck.
Okay.
It has this beautiful chunky inlay, the block inlay. My brother does classic car build outs.
Oh, cool.
And so he has a great spray booth, and he matched the candy apple.
So he matched that to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a really nice job with it.
Really nice job on the decal too. Yeah, it's cool to have a jazz option as well.
And is this your P bass as well, right?
It's the classic Duck Dunn Olympic white
Yeah.
P bass.
You were telling me the other day because of the Blues Brothers movie.
The Blues Brothers is what made me want to play bass. It was the fro, the pipe.
Yeah, man.
And one day I saw this bass in a pawn shop in Santa Cruz, and I had to have it. Well, holy shit, that is the Blues Brothers bass right there.
So what year is this one?
That's 73.
So all of this patina is like the real deal.
Well, yeah, one of my coworkers, he just never washes his hands. And
Okay, well, can we go listen to some of these? You
Sure.
Hear how they sound?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Awesome. Both pickups. Bridge. Neck. And then this is your volume and tone, right?
Yep. And by the way, so the volume pot is switched out to a 500K ohm, and same with the tone.
Okay, and you did that yourself?
Yeah,
the mod.
Some other customizations. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
500 just gives you a more open sound.
Yeah, you can tell it's down to E flat. It's got that
Yep.
beefy. This one feels really good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the medium scale with the jazz neck's pretty nice too.
Yeah. Okay. So the medium thing, what's interesting to me is I don't notice nearly as much the scale length difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like when I go from my P bass to my Mustang, there's like a few moments where I'm like resetting my brain a little bit to like, oh, everything is closer together.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't as much of a jarring switch when I go to this, which is kind of cool.
It's a little bit neck forward.
Uh-huh.
So it might be like a half an inch to an inch. So it might be feeling like more like a 33 instead of a 32.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the Classic Vibe, you'll notice it probably might feel a little shorter.
This one here?
Yep.
Okay, let's try that one.
So this one, yeah, there's not even a tone control. It's just
Wow.
a pickup select between the P pickups, the split
Okay,
coil.
so all the way forward is here.
Yep.
Both.
Yep.
And then jazz.
That's it.
And then both. And then. Interesting. Okay.
This is the one I probably play the most, and I love those.
Yeah.
The quarter pounder pickups.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
Did you put those in?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. And again, 500K ohm electronics on the pot, and then it's just a switch for the pickup select. No tone control.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't need it.
Yeah,
I don't usually
it's in
need
your
it.
hands, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's the way it should be. I usually leave my tone pretty much wide open all the time.
Me too.
And then I just adjust how I'm playing.
Exactly.
Or if I need to, my EQ, but usually I just leave it wide open.
Yep.
Especially if I'm playing with flats, because I want that information.
I want it all up there too.
Yeah, and then you can filter it out later if you need to, but...
I think it's a studio mentality for me. It's like I always want as much there as possible, and I can roll it out if I need to.
Yeah, it's way harder to try and put that information back in.
Yep. It's also the Classic Vibe body.
This one here?
Yep, but it's got the Affinity neck on it.
Okay.
So, the Affinity by Squiers is a $250 bass, and it's incredible for the money.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good bass sound.
Nope.
Like there's a lot of really affordable Fenders or Squiers that are out there that you can get for super cheap, and then for someone like yourself or like me that enjoys like tinkering or figuring things out, you can swap out pickups really easily.
Pickups makes the biggest difference in your strings.
Yeah.
Any instrument, no matter how cheap, you swap that stuff out, you got a way better instrument instantly.
Yeah, and then there's little things you can do, like I've sanded some of my necks down a little bit, or like taking a file and like cleaning up the edges of the frets, like some of those little like tactile things to make a neck feel a little better. Just a little bit of TLC, I think you can get a great feeling and sounding and playing bass for not a lot of money.
Yep. So these ones are the Billy Sheehan
Okay.
Marzio pickups.
Okay, these ones here.
Yeah. And these are really cool strings. They're Fender coated. Super slinky.
This bass is just louder too.
Yep. It's those pickups. On the black PAWNSHOP bass, I got the heaviest gauge strings I could find, and it feels just right.
Really?
Even
Down on E flat?
Even playing down, yeah.
Okay, so when you're tuning down, you're increasing your gauge to sort of
compensate.
keep it.
And again, with the medium scale basses, it actually just sounds better a little bit with the medium scale strings.
Okay.
It just works better somehow, in my opinion.
I like the way these strings feel. Wow. Yeah, this thing is pretty cool. When you start getting into customizing your stuff like this, you have to make all of those decisions as a unit. Like, for example, like these strings with these pickups and this tuning works.
Exactly.
But if you changed one of those variables,
it's a different thing.
This bass wouldn't feel as good. But
Yeah.
you had to figure out, like, okay, this one wants these strings.
Yep.
It's not a one-size-fits-all thing when you're modding stuff, right?
So when you start with cheap instruments, you still end up spending a lot of money because you're experimenting. So that's where the money kind of creeps back in, is all the customizations and experimentations.
But it's fun.
Like, check this out. Here's my bins of all the shit that I have from having worked on it. Pickups. Right, tuners, pickups.
What's the deal with this thing?
Okay, so that one I bought from Japan when the yen was down.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was blue.
It's blue.
Wow.
Beautiful. So this bass is currently unmodified in any way.
Okay.
It's a Fender AERODYNE.
Okay.
It's a popular bass, but the thing that's unique about this one, 32 scale.
These knobs are cool.
Yeah.
These are the ones that came with it?
They are. So this is totally unmodified.
Yeah.
In fact, there's things about it I'd like to modify. So this one being a Japanese instrument, the body is actually scaled along with the neck. So to me, it's a more complete package of what maybe a medium would be ideally. Most of the mediums that come from the United States, the few that are available, the body's still kind of standard size.
Really?
It seems like to me.
Okay.
But this one, it scales really nicely with the whole instrument.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. It's comfortable.
Very.
It's really comfortable. This neck is very comfortable.
32, really well made in Japan.
Why is it that like every Japanese instrument I've ever played feels good?
Because they're so well made.
Yeah.
The attention to detail is just amazing.
Yeah, and the quality control.
Yeah,
is
and
really good.
this particular, the 32 scale, you couldn't get it in the U.S. You have to get it imported from Japan if you want one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was this pretty pricey to get it over here?
No, because the yen was way down when I bought it, so I got it really cheap, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for it?
I think with everything, it was a little under $800.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You gotta figure it out, man. You gotta figure it out. I've been wanting to play this all week because I'm a Mustang guy. So what is this one?
It's just a straight up standard early 70s Mustang bass, which, you know, of course the Mustangs were considered student basses.
You got the
and
the foam in there.
The foam is, I redid the foam.
Yeah. You did that yourself?
Yeah, just aesthetically I just put some, you know, Home Depot insulation foam on them, which is basically what the original stuff was.
So this piece, this is the original piece with the foam.
Yeah, most people just take those off, but this one happened to have it on it.
Okay, that's cool. Is there a way to engage it? Or is it like...
No, it's not like a Music Man bass where you can turn that stuff on and off.
Okay, it's like either on or off. So if you were to unscrew these,
Yep.
it would cause the foam to come up.
Yep. It's not very practical though.
Yeah,
so I just leave it there.
You can't
for
be on the
aesthetics.
gig with your like screwdriver in between songs.
No.
Wow.
Yep.
This one feels great.
Yeah, it's that classic Labella dead E string.
Will, thanks so much for showing us your basses.
You're welcome.
So how can people support you? What's the name of your band?
Dead Campers with a K.
Dead Campers with a K?
Check it out.
Okay, I'll put a link in the description for people.
Love it.
So thanks for everything this week. Thanks for letting me play your basses, and
you're welcome.
And it's been really fun being out here. So I appreciate you, Will.
Love it.
Cool. We can get it.
Okay.